this sure was a busy week. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hot Stuff Videocast, and today we're going to have our 7th weekly update of the offseason, as we're going to be talking about some Phillies news and some around baseball news. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Now, we have a lot to talk about in this one. A very, very busy week for the Phils. You see me make a couple of videos this week about Dave Dombrowski, the new President of Baseball Operations for the Philadelphia Phillies. Welcome to Philadelphia. I love this move, and I tell you, what a difference from last week. Last week, we made a pretty discouraging video talking about the reports about Zach Wheeler possibly being dealt, and nothing came out of that, luckily, but I didn't think there would. But just to confirm it, nothing did come out of that, which is great news. But wow, a lot happened this week. Some good, some bad. We'll just get right into it. Last Monday, Phillies legend, they just retired his number 15 in July. Dick Allen passed away at the age of 78. And as I said, they retired his number 15 in July, which was a great tribute to him. And he was on the ballot to make the Hall of Fame. They pushed him back, I believe, until next year. He is a Phillies Hall of Famer. He had a Hall of Fame career, just an all-around good man and a good guy. You heard Larry Bowa go on Mad Dog Russo, High Heat, talking about it, and talking about what a good guy he was, and how he did deal with some challenges throughout his career, and his major league career, and how it was a big adventure for him, and the success that he had at a high level, and he had a very, very successful career. He was a good player. He played the game the right way. He had a lot of passion, and 78 years old. We all knew he had some health problems. They did retire his number 15, as I said, in July, and spent most of his career as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. So, we mourn the loss of Dick Allen. As I said, Hall of Fame career. If he doesn't make it into the Hall of Fame, it's really just a disgrace. He is a Phillies Wall of Famer, of course. But, my thoughts and prayers go out to the Allen family during this time. Definitely some sad news there. And also last Tuesday, I made a little bit of a joke, right? The Phillies are, rumored to have some financial problems, right? And rumored to have some financial problems. I did a little post. I have an announcement, right? I was traded from the Phillies fan base to the Nationals fan base, and I was going to have to change my name to the Nationals Hot Stuff Videocast, and some people actually fell for that and actually thought I was serious. Let's go Phillies. I am not leaving the Phillies fan base, that I could tell you. And, and I made a post last week, talking about Didi Gregorius. I think it's so important that we have a left-handed bat in our infield that's so right-handed heavy. I've talked about this before. Having Didi Gregorius, a 300 hitter when he's healthy, it's just so important. You saw what he did for the Phillies this past year in a 60-game season. He went completely off. And bringing him back, on a 2 to 3 year deal would be huge for this Phillies team. You fill, vacancy at shortstop. And, the question would be, what do you do with Scott Kingery? What's the future hold for him? But after a down 2020 season, there's some uncertainty there. So I think bringing back Didi Gregorius would fill that void and really just, I think it'd be good for this Phillies team. It was around this time last year we signed him on that 1-year contract. Wasn't crazy about that signing, but boy, that really worked out. And also this past week, I made, as I said, 2 videos about this. The Phillies have hired Dave Dombrowski as the next president of baseball operations. I've talked about this a lot. I'll just get right into it. There's a little segment here. If you really want to hear me go on, a long talk about it. I made 2 videos. One, talking about the breaking news of him coming here, and the other video about his, introductory press conference. Getting introduced as a president of baseball operations for the Philadelphia Phillies. I talk a little bit about it. I bring in a guy who has a lot of experience. He's been around this game for 30 years in the front office. And he has longevity. He's enjoyed his longevity, and he has experience in winning. He has a proven track record of winning. He's won 2 World Series championships, one most recently with the Boston Red Sox in 2018. So he knows how to build a World Series caliber team, and having a man like this in our front office is huge. It's huge. A lot of experience, and it's not like it was before. We had these younger guys in there like Clentag, Ned Rice. This is a game changer, and this is the first ever president of baseball operations for the Phillies. We've never had that. Unclear if we're going to hire a GM. And one thing to take away from his press conference is he said we're not going to be rebuilding. We're going to be retooling, which is music to my ears, because we don't want to rebuild, because I think we have a good core here that we could build around. And he even said, we're not just one player away. We have to keep going. We have to retool. We're not going to blow it up. We're not just one player away, though. And I completely agree with him on that. So Music to my ears, Dave. Welcome to Philadelphia. I love this hire. As I said, if you want to keep hearing me talk about this, go and click on the two most recent videos. Dave Dombrowski getting hired as the Phillies president of baseball operations, and go and click on the press conference review that I also did as well. You can go enjoy those two videos after this video. And also this Thursday, I'd like to wish everyone who celebrates this a happy Hanukkah. It was the first day of Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah from Phillies Hot Stove. It is the season. Christmas is coming up. We just had Thanksgiving a few weeks ago. New Year's, of course, is too. So happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate. Once again, I was at Citizens Bank Park on Friday, and I got to see that that beautiful Christmas tree. What a beautiful sight that was, and what a great job they do there. They had the Fandemic crew come over and blow the air horn with them too. That was pretty cool. They plugged in the tree. That was pretty cool what they do for the Fandemic crew. The good contributions that they made. Yelling over the gate and stuff. They were the voice of the Phillies this past year since there were no fans in the ballpark. They did such a fantastic job, and I'm so glad that they called the Fandemic crew over there to do that. So I love that. That was pretty cool. And some huge news broke yesterday. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about it. The New York Mets have signed catcher James McCann on a 4-year, $40 million contract. Now, the Mets were rumored to be, highly deeply in on JT Realmuto and the Realmuto sweepstakes. This now takes the Mets out of it. So the Mets are out. I predicted JT Realmuto to sign with the Phillies in my top 10 free agent video. That is now wrong. He will not be going to the Mets. The Mets end up getting James McCann, who has had a very, very, decent past couple of seasons. He was with the Chicago White Sox, did well there as the backup to Yasmani Grandal, who had an awful 2020 campaign. And signed that big, multi-year deal there with the White Sox. First year has not worked out at all, but James McCann slotting in behind home plate for the Mets, taking over for Wilson Ramos, who elected free agency. What this means for the Phillies, this now takes a big player out of the books. Takes him out of the pool, the team pool. This now leaves teams like the Los Angeles Angels, teams like the Toronto Blue Jays, and my Phillies in there as well, and even possibly the Washington Nationals. I'm going to throw them in there as well. I've heard rumors about maybe the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not too sure about that. Where do I think he's going to end up? I honestly think he could end up in our lap. I really do. Now with the Mets are out, so this is huge. This is huge. I mean, as I said, I think this really, really hurts Realmuto. I really do, because honestly, whatever his asking price was, the Mets were not willing to meet. So what does that tell you? That he's going to be expensive. But the question is, what team is going to be willing to pay this? And as I said earlier, it's not just the Phillies that lost money in the 2020 season. Everybody lost money. Everybody lost money. Every professional sports team lost money. So you can't, mean to tell me, the Angels didn't lose money, the Blue Jays didn't lose money. I don't know if the Blue Jays are willing to go this far for JT Realmuto. I mean, when have the Blue Jays went out and signed like a massive free agent? When have the Blue Jays, ever done something like that, right? I mean, when have, in recent history, when have they went out and, made a big play for, a free agent, right? The LA Angels would make sense. I mean, they're known for signing big free agents. For example, last year they went out and paid Anthony Rendon a lot of money, signed him at third base. They extended Mike Trout, gave him a fat extension, a lot of money. They paid Mike Trout. Signed Albert Pujols about 10 years ago. He's on the final year of his deal. They went out and signed C.J. Wilson. That was again in the same offseason, right around the same time. So the Angels do have a track record of signing big name free agents. But the Angels need to focus on pitching. I think Trevor Bauer is the Angels guy. I do not think the Angels should go after JT Mitch. I really, really don't. Especially with the year that Max Stassi had behind home plate for the Angels this year too. I just don't think that Realmuto to the Angels will work. I think Bauer's their guy. I think Bauer will end up with either the Angels, Mets, or somebody like that, because the Mets do need another starter. So again, I don't think the Mets are done, but I think Bauer ends up with the Angels. We're still sticking with that. And again, I don't think the Blue Jays are willing to spend that much money. The Angels, I mean, as I said, they have a track record of signing big name free agents. But are they willing to do, for JT Realmuto? I mean, they need pitching. I think Trevor Bauer, as I keep saying, is their guy. Tampa Bay Rays, are you serious? They're trying to, reportedly trying to trade Blake Snell. I don't think that would make much sense for them, especially, they're a small market team over there. The Washington Nationals do scare me a little bit. Not too much. They're one of the older teams in baseball. They got Max Scherzer, the final year of his contract. Steven Strasburg, injury problems. Had a down 2020 season, the follow-up season to their World Series championship. They do have a lot of young players, though. Juan Soto, a young star. Victor Robles yet to prove himself. So, the Nationals is yet to be seen if they're willing to come out and spend that kind of money. They definitely, GM and President Mike Rizzo, definitely aggressive towards pitching, right? I mean, you saw he went out and signed Max Scherzer in the 14-15 offseason. Gave Strasburg that extension in the, I believe that was in May of 2016. And then you saw last year he opted out, giving that massive 7-year deal, the exact same money in years the Angels signed Anthony Rendon for. He chose Rendon over Strasburg because, honestly, as I said, it was the exact same contract. Strasburg and Rendon got the exact same money in years. And Mike Rizzo chose Steven Strasburg over Anthony Rendon, which makes more sense. Pitching wins games. He went out and spent, 6 years, 120, 140 on Patrick Corbin. So Mike Rizzo, that's GM and president, has a track record of going out and signing big-name free agents, but it's mostly pitchers. He was not willing to pay Bryce Harper. He was not willing to pay Anthony Rendon. But I don't know what's going on with Rizzo. I mean, I don't know if they want to maybe rebuild in a few years. They're, as I said, one of the older teams. They're not. I don't really know how they're going to really do next year. As I said, Scherzer seems to be declining. Strasburg, has injury problems. Corbin had a, kind of a bad season this year. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as it was in 19. There's still some question marks in that rotation. I think they do need another starter after the loss of Anibal Sanchez. As I said, what's his name? Eric Fetty in there, of course. He had a decent season this year. He might be the number 5 guy. He might go out and sign a guy like John Lester on a 1-year deal. Knows Davey Martinez was with him when he was with the Chicago Cubs. And when Davey Martinez was the Chicago Cubs bench coach from 2015 to 2017, so they know each other. So I think that make some sense. Maybe possibly signing a 1-year deal, signing Jake Arrieta, slide him in the number 5. Put Eric Fetty number 4. Of course, you got Joe Ross over there too. So the Nationals, it's unclear what the Nationals direction is. I don't know what direction Rizzo wants to take it. He's already won his World Series. Did they hang on the guys like Robles and Soto? Maybe they do end up trading Robles. They got Carter Kieboom over there, of course, as well. They got Carter Kieboom, and they got Luis Garcia. Some younger guys who are coming up through that farm system. The Nationals don't have a great farm system at all. But they do have some young players, as I said, Kieboom, Garcia, Soto, who's already proved himself. Robles yet to be seen. They did lose Adam Eaton. Adam Eaton went back to Chicago White Sox in free agency, and we all know that Mike Rizzo did decline his option. So it's unclear what the Nationals' direction. This is why I think Realmuto, my predictions changed. I think JT Realmuto will re-sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to really drag out. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I think it's going to be a while. I think it's probably going to be February at least. I think it's going to be a while. So Realmuto is going to wait this out. This is going to be like the Bryce Harper. This is going to be like the Bryce Harper free agency. So Realmuto will end up with the Phillies. I just think he will. I think he's going to fall into our lap. No other team, in my opinion, really makes sense. And the Phillies also announced on Wednesday, they announced invitations to 4 minor league affiliates: the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, Reading Fightin' Phils, Jersey Shore Blue Calls, and the Clearwater Threshers. And that will be part of MLB's new player development structure. So the Phillies made that announcement on Wednesday. So a lot of news to cover this week. New president of baseball operations. Dombrowski's going to get in there, and once he starts working with the front office executives, he's going to decide whether he wants to hire a general manager or not. So it's unclear. And apparently he's still going to continue his initiative to make the Nashville Stars a Major League Baseball team, even when he is the president of the Philadelphia Phillies, of course, president of baseball operations. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Phillies. We'd love to get Realmuto back. Stack the holes in the bullpen, fill those holes in the bullpen, get another starter, bring back Didi and JT, and I think we're set. Of course, we don't have unlimited money, as David Dombrowski said, and no team does, especially after this year. So we have a lot of work to do this offseason, and we're finally going to get started. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media, link the description section at Phillies House of Instagram, our Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshouse@gmail.com. The 7th weekly update is in the books. Hope everyone had a good week. Wednesday, baseball guy Sean coming back on the VCast, as we're going to be having a little chat, about an hour chat like we usually do. So welcome back to the VCast, Sean. On Saturday, we're going to be having a Bryce Harper debate. Is he overrated or not? That's going to be with John, who's been on here before. And then, of course, Sunday will be another weekly update. So, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to y'all later. Let's go, Phils. I'll see you again.